Hey Celia, what is your name? What is your industry? And what is your problem?
Hey, Steve. Thanks for having me. My name is Celia Kibler, and I'm on a mission to stop a million parents from yelling at their kids. My industry is parents and children's wellness. And my problem is that I am starting the International Day of Calm, and I would like to know from you the best way to launch this into the world.
All right. Okay. So you're launching the International Day of Calm. What day are you looking to actually do that?
April 5th, 2022, is the initial launch. I plan on doing it every year on April 5th. It's the day my dad passed away in 2020.
All right. Okay. So let's look into the reasons behind it. For a start, why does anyone care?
Because this world needs to calm itself down, number 1, there's a lot of tension, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety going all over the place. There's a lot of mental illness. COVID itself has caused all kinds of mental issues for people. They're stressed out. They are yelling at their kids even more. And in the workplace, people are yelling at each other. There's more violence. There's an increase all around. And if we could spend just one day and everyone could just calm themselves and learn how to calm themselves and control their emotions for just one day and be more proactive instead of reactive, we could change the world.
All right. So I'm playing devil's advocate with you. I'm a parent. So everyone knows that the idea of never being able to yell at your kids or never needing to yell at your kids, oh my god, everyone would love that. um but let's sidestep the toughest business in the world, which is being a parent. We're in a world where consequence has gone by the wayside. There was a time when if you were bad in school, you got the cane. Hey, I'm not here saying that's a good thing. Bearing in mind, I got it as a child, but I was a little bit more quieter in the class. Now we're in a world where, hey, you can't yell at your kids. You can't do this. You can't, do that. They need a safe space. There's a feeling where the consequence of actions that the kids do, as long as they've got a cell phone video in it, they're almost immune. You can't attack them, you can't shout them, you can't yell at them. So you saying, hey, don't yell at your kids. There's also a flip side where people are going to go, hang on a minute, they're already getting out of hand. They need to be not put in our place, but they need to understand that if they do something wrong, they're going to get yelled at. How do you respond to that? Because I'm trying to get to your day and the
O-
reasons. So how would you respond to
Okay,
that?
so my response is simple. And that is that when you yell at your children, we all need to handle disappointment. I mean, let's face it, welcome to life when things don't go your way. And my tagline in Pumped Up Parenting is because we're raising adults, not children. We absolutely have to have limits and boundaries. We absolutely have to have consequences for our choices. It's reality. I am not eliminating those things. Instead, I am instilling new ways to handle our own disappointment in our children so that we can teach our children how to better handle disappointment, create a calmer, more cooperative environment where children are listening, doing, and being a part of the whole system because parents are being more intentional about the way they speak to their children, the way they encourage their children to listen and to cooperate without all the yelling, which is so detrimental to kids and puts all those voices in our heads that so many of us have that we're not good enough. We'll never do anything right. We second guess ourselves and we grow up hating ourselves, not our parents.
All right. So you've got an answer to the question. Good. That was the first thing. How are you marketing this great cup? How are you marketing this day? Because you've got a benefit, you've got a reason behind it. How are you currently marketing that this should be the day of calm?
Okay, so currently, at this moment, I am not specifically marketing the Day of Calm, and that's why I come to you.
Okay.
But I have a lot of things in place. I am pretty much known in the world of parenting for the person that you go to stop yelling at your kids. It's my thing. I do challenges all the time. I wrote an article for the Elephant Journal that's got over 300,000 reads in less than a year. I do a lot of workshops. I speak. I wrote a book on raising happy toddlers, how to build great parenting skills and stop yelling at your kids. I wrote that as a manual. There's a lot of things I have in place to bring people, parents specifically, to a calmer place, a more proactive place. And with the International Day of Calm, I don't just bring it to the parents, but I bring it to everybody. Because frankly, we all need to start listening, stop judging, stop criticizing, and start creating a calmer world.
So you've got a following, you've got a reputation, you've got credibility. Have you first posed it to those people going, hey, would you like this day? What are your thoughts on this idea? Have you posed it to them yet?
I have not officially. I actually reached out to Calm, you know, the app
Yes.
Calm. So I searched to see if they ever did an International Day of Calm. And they did it one time. And they didn't call it the International Day of Calm. They just called it Calm Day in 2016. And I told you that the reason I'm having it on April 5th is because that's when my dad passed away. And I'm doing it in honor of him. He was the yeller in the family. And amazingly enough, in 2016, Calm did a Calm Day on April 5th. Pretty
Okay.
wild, huh?
Yeah.
So I have reached out to them to see if they were doing any more, if they were, going to continue this Calm Day. And they said no. I have not written an official letter to them of seeing if they're willing to be a part of this. And there's some other apps and people that, are in the world of, well, there's a lot of people that are in the world of relaxation. I have a crew of people that I call my strategy board that are all in the world doing various things. We're meeting to get this all in action. I work very closely with the top parenting coach in Nigeria, and we're working together to do a lot of things that will bring this International Day of Calm into a reality. I'm waiting on the nonprofit status, which in this world of COVID, who knows when that's going to arrive, because I just keep getting messages, delays. So I want to get this launched, but there won't be a nonprofit thing, I don't believe, when we're ready to launch it. So I want to encourage people to join on because they want to run free workshops, things like that. I've already teamed up with a really huge guy in marketing, and we're going to run the launch workshop together.
A lot of that, to me, sounds like you're trying to launch a completed project. It sounds to me like you're trying to get big sponsors involved. You're trying to get a charity component involved. No one's going to get on board until you start traction. Okay. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to have your first event as everything. It doesn't work that way. So I think what you've got to do, first of all, is you've got to create a culture. You've got to create an understanding. And more, excuse me, more than anything, you've got to create momentum. Now, people can get behind momentum. When you've shown, hey, I did this and it worked, even if it only worked a little bit, it worked. Okay. And that's all they're looking for. Are there people that are going to get behind this? Is there enough noise? And you're not going to get that because Calm's not going to side with you. And no other company that's got their own client bank, their own traction, their own momentum, their own credibility, they're not going to side with you until there'll be some reason to it. Now, if Michelle Obama said, hey, I want to do a day of Calm. Hey, Calm, would you like to do it? They can ride her name home. Okay. Yeah. But you're new. So what you've got to do first is stop looking outside of your sandpit. You've already said that you are the person to go to. You've already said that you've had articles written that have had 300,000 people. You've already said you've got a following and credibility. Get a small party going. So the first thing that should be done is you should reach out to all of those people going, hey, this is my vision. On this day, I want a day of calm. Would you be behind me? Would you commit to just on this day having a day of calm? And then the following day, let me know what you thought. Report, put it up on Facebook. Tell me what you thought of this day of calm. Shouldn't we have a day in this world of much distraction, distortion, and noise? Shouldn't we have a day of calm? This is the day. Get behind me and see what happens. You see, here's the beautiful thing. It costs you nothing. Okay. You may only get 100 people do it. Okay. And then you can talk about it. And then the following year, you can go, hey, last year we started this movement. We got great traction. These were some of the comments I've got. You've got to build up on this. Now, third, fourth year, then you can go to calm. Then you can get your marketing buddies behind it. But for this year, go into your sandpit. If you've got 2,000 people from your sandpit that actually went, this is a great idea, that's momentum. Companies are looking to collaborate when you've got momentum. They don't want to kickstart your project, your concept, your vision, your idea. They want to opportunize what you create. Okay. So the key thing is you've got to create it first.
I love that. That's like super clarity. I knew you would give me that little bit of clarity.
Well, you've already got the people around you and they
Right.
already love you. So if you can get them to go, okay, I'm going from believing what Celia says to actually impacting and imparting that on being a day of this, then you can show that your voice creates an action, and that action can only get bigger. See, the beautiful thing about momentum is it gathers speed. It gathers speed, it gathers size, but you've got to get the ball rolling.
I love that.
Can you do that?
I
I asked
can.
you, have you
I
told
absolutely
your
can.
people, and you were like, not a fish.
Right.
All right.
I think I said it on a few podcasts, and that's it.
Yeah.
I have not officially announced it to my people.
Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough.
It's all
You
right.
need to announce
too.
it. You need to go out to your people and go, hey, this is my vision. Would you support it? Would you do this? It doesn't cost any money. It's just one day for you to change your attitude. One day you refuse to get angry. One day you refuse to yell. One day you're going to remain calm. Will you celebrate this day of calm with me? And put it out to your Facebook, your newsletter, your Twitter, all of these people, and then say to them, all I'm going to ask is the day after, how did it affect you? What did it do? Please post it here on Twitter, Facebook, wherever, and see if you can get some traction and momentum going.
I love that. I love it. I love it.
All right.
I'm on board. I know where to go from here.
I told you some of these times, you don't need a 4-hour session. Sometimes you can just have a conversation, lay it out. Someone can go ABC, and all of a sudden you've got everything you do. Celia, did that answer your question?
Absolutely. My biggest problem has always been that there is like constant flow of ideas in this brain. And like, I have to narrow them down. I have to narrow them down, and, you think of one thing, then like another thing you think of, and you're like, okay, put that one aside. Let's focus. And
the beautiful
that makes perfect sense.
A beautiful thing that was said to me once by a good friend of mine, Ari Mizell. He said, get going, then get good.
Oh, I love that.
All right. So that's, shout out to Ari Mizell there, because he came up with that beautiful piece of wisdom. So get going with your day of calm and then build on it. All right.
Sounds perfect. Sounds absolutely perfect. I
Celia,
am ready to go.
I really appreciate you being part of Speakeasy and the Sims Distillery family. Let us know how you get on with this. Post it in the Facebook groups. And thank you very much for being part of this live training.
I will. Thank you so much, Steve. I'm very grateful.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, this is Steve Sims, and I hope you liked that episode of Being Coached by Steve Sims. Subscribe over here watch some other cool videos over here, or for your chance to be coached by me for the YouTube series, join here at simsdistillery.com.